Here at Knights Custom Conversions, we pride ourselves on delivering high-quality campervan conversions, designed and built in-house to your specification. Available in a variety of configurations, custom built for every need. Our bespoke builds are available on Volkswagen transporters, Ford Transit Customs and larger vehicles such as Volkswagen Crafters, MAN TGE and the Mercedes Sprinter. All our work comes with a 3-year warranty, giving you peace of mind. To find out more, go to knightscustomconversions.co.uk.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Entrepreneur TV, where our business is all about your business. And on today's show, I am super excited because if you know me, like many of you do, you know I love the great outdoors, I love adventures, I love things like caravans, motorhomes, and I've got a particular soft spot for campervans. Nice campervans, I may add. And today, I have got John here as my guest, who owns Knights Custom Conversions. I've seen some of your amazing creations. Yeah. I mean, you see camper conversions, and it's like, yeah, that's nice, but yours are up there, luxury, lovely.
Thank you very
Where
much.
do you get your inspiration for all these designs, these wonderful designs that you do?
I've always really liked creating, designing, and it kind of just, I suppose it comes naturally. I just really enjoy designing something different, putting different colours together, seeing what works, and just working with a customer and making something really unique.
Well, you do a fabulous job, but I want to take you back to the beginning.
Okay.
And I believe it was around about 2013, was it? And you was working in a van.
Yeah, so at the time I was doing my day job, which was carpentry. I've been doing that for 15 years about that point. And basically I toyed with doing a motorhome conversion probably in 2009, 2010, when I was doing kitchen fitting and hang-cut roofs and all sorts of different things. And basically we ended up doing a interior of a motorhome. Only a small motorhome, wasn't a massive job, but it kind of started it, I suppose. Then we were working on site with a friend of mine, and basically from there he brought in a magazine that was the VW T5 T6 magazine, or T4 T5 magazine should I say. Showed me some ideas and really got the cogs turning. From there I ended up buying a van and converting it.
That is absolutely some story, to actually sort of transfer it from all those amazing skills that you had to then another business.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also quite, if I may say it, ballsy, because, in this climate, and even back then, it's not easy just to set up a business like that, is it?
No, at the same time, I just bought my first house and my wife fell pregnant within a few months of having that. So
you like the challenge?
Yeah, just a bit, yeah. Did it all at the same time.
So when you look at the vans, there is quite a lot of makes and models.
There is.
But which are the most popular vans, do you think, that people go for?
Yes, the Volkswagens. The Volkswagens have got a big following. So definitely the Volkswagens. We've been doing the Volkswagen Transporters pretty much from the start. And so we've now moved on to the Volkswagen Crafters, the MAN TGEs. We do the Mercedes Sprinters, the new Ford Transit Custom with the joining of the Volkswagens and the Ford Transit Customs. They're going to be the same on the new T7 now. So we're doing quite a few models, but the Volkswagen is the most popular.
Yeah, I can actually testify to that because as a trail runner in the Lake District,
you see a lot
as I'm going up along the trails, I often see all these amazing Volkswagens, and again, it's like, wow, they must be a real popular one. But you've got to have the knowledge because, like you've said, they bring out new models.
Yeah.
So you have really got to work with the knowledge base there to know what you're doing.
Yeah, there's a lot to work out. So we're having to design new kitchens for these, working out where the electrics connect, where you put the heaters, where you put the water tanks. When we're working on the new models, there aren't always things on the market available for it. So we're developing things for the product as well. So the Transporter T7 is going to be the same as the new Transit Custom, and on the Transit Custom at the minute there is no set water tank. The diesel heater isn't really necessarily confirmed, so we're having to find out where to fit the diesel heater, how to take the fuel tank from it. The pop-top roof's new, it's different to the previous model, it fits in a different way. There's a lot to work out. And then when we're doing so many different models, because we do the bigger vehicles as well, there's a lot of development goes into it, a lot of R&D.
I can well imagine. But also, I mean, I can't help but mention this. I mean, there are a few people who think, I'll have a go at this.
Yeah.
You know, the old DIY fanatics, and you don't half see some bodge jobs out there.
Yeah.
You know, how do you actually help someone maybe who's done a bodge job and make it decent again?
Yeah, over the years we've done quite a few, to be fair. So basically we have customers who have come in who have done a bit of work themselves, maybe fitted something that needs redoing, or they'd come to us and say, look, I want to do some of the work ourselves, but in actual fact, I don't really want to get involved in some of the structural work. So fitting windows, fitting pop-top roofs, would recommend that someone who's qualified does that. And so we'll fit to just them parts. It doesn't have to be a full conversion, but it can be just elements to the conversion. So sliding bed system, pop-top roof, windows, all the stuff that meets regulations and is safe, we will fit, and then we can offer basically guidance on the rest of it. We've done that for quite a few customers.
I mean, one thing I would say is safety
is
key. Paramount.
Massively so, yes.
You know, just give us an indication of some of the safety features that people should be aware of.
Yeah, so like the pop-top roofs, there's many different pop-top roofs in the market, same as there is bed systems. Bed systems are a more important thing because people are actually sitting in the back of them. If you're going to put your kids in the back of there, you need to know that it's safe, or any passenger.
Yeah.
So we use the Remo sliding bed system, the Mobiframe bed system, also the rib bed system. They are all crash tested. The Remo is really good in essence that the whole floor, the whole rail system is tested in the vehicle. So it's not just a bench tested, M1 tested frame that is safe on a pull test. It's actually been tested in the vehicle to make sure the actual anchoring to the vehicle is safe.
I mean, let's just talk one thing extra about safety is about the weight.
Yes, the weight.
And, you know, how would somebody know if they've just gone out maybe and bought or thinking of buying a camper, whether it's safety, weight and everything's okay, that they can just drive away in it?
Yeah, so there's start off with the vehicle really. So that, like on the Transporter, they do a T26, a T28, a T30 and a T32. So the T26 to the T30, basically the 26, 28, 30 and 32 indicates 2.6 tonne all the way up to 3.2 tonne. So on a 3.2 tonne, the suspension and the brakes are different to the T30 down to the T26. So that's designed to carry more weight. So if you've got more payload to start off with, you can then put more in the conversion and not be worried about being overweight. But if you start off with a T26, which we don't recommend, you're really limited to what you can do to it.
And, you know, with regards to the weight and things, does this actually have a massive impact on, you know, the fuel costs and everything else that goes with it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's fixed weight. So with fixed weight being in the back, it's not like you're putting stuff in and taking it out and putting stuff in. So it's a fixed weight. So yeah, it will knock a few miles per gallon off what the vehicle would be unladen. But yeah, it's not massively impactful. They're actually quite efficient. Now,
where do you think this love of camper vans has come in from? Because I mean, I remember as a child of the 70s, you know, it was a great enjoyment if you went out into a caravan or into, you know, like these really old-fashioned little camper vans.
Yeah.
You go out for the day, but they seem to be having a resurgence of interest in people. What do you think that is?
Well, it's been around for a long time. I mean, obviously the split screens, the bay windows, they attracted a lot of attention, didn't they? And we've got people who have come from that side and have gone into the newer vehicles because they want something a bit more usable to tour Europe. So it's, and then obviously COVID hit, and that's, people were stuck inside, weren't they? And they really wanted to get out. Flying become more expensive. There was many factors, but yeah, it really has hit off lately. We've got people who have moved from motorhomes that have found they're a bit too big as they get a bit older and they want something a bit smaller, a bit more usable. Obviously, things have got more expensive as well. So maybe getting rid of the daily driver and making a camper van that's usable for your daily driver as well as your daily driver and your camper van. It works both ways.
It's a bit like getting dual use.
Yeah, dual use, yeah.
They are flexible little things, aren't they?
They are, yeah, they are. And they drive so nicely. Obviously, a short base generally is under 5 metres, so some cars are that size. So it drives like a car. Most of them are automatic that we do. 2 single seats, armrest both sides. You've got all the perks you have. App Connect, you've got heated seats, you've got sat-nav built onto them, you've got all sorts of different things.
Now, they are quite luxurious. I mean, I know I've I've oohed over your website looking at all the different designs. I really have, you know, and I'm like, I like that one. And then I see another one and think, I like that one. But, you know, what do you think is the most unique customization you've ever worked on?
Oh, that's a hard one. The most unique customization. I mean, what we've done with our packages has been really a case of customer experience over the time. So because we are custom, but we also have set packages, the packages have really come from being custom, finding what the customers are asking for, and us then building something that suits most needs. I mean, our Prestige Tourer Plus has basically been years of us doing the Prestige Tourer, and then things that maybe don't quite work as well as they could do change so it's more accessible, you're more usable. And obviously there's so many options of colours that you can have, leathers and cabinetry and worktops. We're using beautiful solid surface worktops, so American black walnut worktops, nice oak worktops. There's so many variations that we do. It's a bit of a hard one to answer.
I know. I was thinking when I was looking at doing these questions, and I thought, what type would I have? But it's there's so many lovely styles that you do.
Yeah, yes.
It's like it would be hard to choose.
Yes, I mean we have I suppose your replacement for what would be a combi or a car, if you're not wanting a fixed camper in there all the time, is what I've got. So I've got a Grand Tourer. So that's 2 single seats at the front for me and my wife, and then I've got 3 kids at the back. They're 3 boys, so basically, so I've got a 4-year-old, a 9-year-old and 11-year-old, and they're getting bigger. And so we've got a nice wide seat at the back. The seat slides forward and backwards. I've got a pop top in the roof. We can go camping, put the driveway awning on the side. So we've got plenty of room out there. Basically it makes a nice big king size bed downstairs. There's a sleeping upstairs. So if I want to go away for a few nights, I can do. If I want to go away for, like when we go to Cornwall for like 11, 12 days at a time, we've got that expansion of this the driveway awning that we can just go away for days. Go away for days and basically have the awning left there. So we can just explore the area. So
you've got real comfort in mind with your camper vans, which is good. But is there anything that's quite challenging when it comes to the build of these? What do you think is the most challenging aspect?
Well, we're going more into the bigger vehicles, and with the bigger vehicles, I always knew that because being custom, it means that the bigger the vehicle, the more options there are.
Yeah.
And some of the options on the transporters are limiting because of the size. But on the crafters, the Man TGs, they go up from a 4.9 metre vehicle to a 7.3 on an extra long wheelbase.
Wow, that's a lot.
We're doing one at the minute that's orange that looks amazing. We're just starting it, but will look amazing. And that's having a pop top on it as well. And so the customers come with a remit, and basically he's had motorhomes for a long time. And he's been to the NEC, looked around all what's available, and nothing really suits what he wants. All the motorhomes out there, nothing really suits what he wants. But he's had ideas, he's had things that have worked, things that haven't, and basically he's brought all the ideas that work from different motorhomes and said, do this.
He's just dumped them at you.
Yeah. And so far I've probably spent about 13 hours with him so far, going through all different areas, and there's going to be times where he's coming through the build to have a look at things. So this is a real custom job. That can be quite challenging, because then what he explains to me, I then have to explain to my engineers. So I have to everything that he designed on the kitchen, I need to sit down with Tony, my CNC operator, and basically get him to design with me all the interior that suits exactly what the customer's asked for.
So Tony gets a bit of the headache then.
Well, they all do, because then Vince, who assembles all the cabinetry, he then doesn't know how it all goes together. So because it's not something we do all the time, so then we have to work out exactly how it all goes together. So then Tony helps Vince on that, and I help Vince on that. And then obviously all the electrics are different. So, and then the heater's different, the water tanks are different. So then Lewis, who has to do all of the heater and water tank system, he has to work out with me on exactly where the heater is going to be located, and does that work with other things, and how does the electrics work, and then James is doing the electrics, and then so James has to work out exactly where we're going to locate everything to make everything work and be efficient. So,
and that's as a business, you must have a lot of trust in your team.
Definitely, yeah.
And your business absolutely is like teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and definitely being custom makes things very hard. But it makes it also enjoyable, because I don't want to be doing the same thing day in and day out. Yeah, and so the lads really enjoy it as well. It just needs a lot more guidance, that's all.
Especially, and like you said, with the vans getting bigger, there's more room to play with.
Yeah.
So they're wanting more of the tricks and things. And
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So I mean, on this particular one, we're fitting a pop top, we're fitting 2 single seats that then slide in, or 2 single benches that slide into a bed. We're doing full off-grid electrics, a big shower toilet in there. There is so many different things in that. It's going to look amazing. But
I can't wait to see it. I will be going on your website having a look at that one.
Hydraulic self-leveling, air suspension. It's
Have you noticed? I know everybody's starting to become more eco, but have you started to see more eco-conscious choices in the designs and that, or the things that you add to the vehicles?
It's going to be coming along. So we've done away with gas for quite a while. So hardly anybody wants gas anymore. So for the last few years, we've been kind of leading the way with a few of the converters on fitting full electrics inside. So there's no underslung gas like we used to fit. There's no internal gas locker, no gas hob. It's an induction hob. It's a large lithium battery and an inverter that then runs it all. So it means that you can run the induction hob and all the electrics inside with being hooked up or being off-grid. So the off-grid side of it, people don't always want to be on a campsite, and not all campsites have mains power. So it gives that versatility of that side. Now the vehicles, I say we're developing on the new Ford Transit Custom, and that same chassis is going to be available on a diesel, a hybrid, and an electric. I say,
wow,
that's available now. Diesel, hybrid, and electric. Now the new T7 is going to be the same chassis and offering the same engines.
That's amazing.
We're designing the conversion. We're taking the NEC so it works on the diesel, hybrid, and electric.
That's
with
clever.
No change.
That is absolutely clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to be is stuck somewhere halfway up a mountain and have no charging point.
Yeah.
But just imagine here, little Emily here is looking to purchase her first camper van. She says to her husband over in the corner.
Yep.
You know, what sort of advice would you give me when I would be looking first for a first van? What should I be looking for?
Yeah, I suppose, well, you need to decide whether it's going to be a long wheelbase or a short wheelbase. I always talk to customers and see how they're going to use it. It's always quite hard if they're the first campers, so they might not know how they're going to use it. But it's kind of why we designed our packages around what most people choose, because you do find people who are on their second or third camper van or motorhome have different ideas of what they want to their first. You find that a lot of people have a sink as standard. Not everybody uses a sink on a camper van. Motorhome's different because it's much bigger. You've got more room. But on a sink, on a small van, the sink isn't so practical. And some people have decided they have not actually used a sink on the previous motorhome. They just take it out, give themselves a bit more space. Now, that isn't always the case, but it's just an example. So yeah, there's many things. Where would you start? So yeah, usage mainly. How are you going to use it? How would you see yourself using it? Are you going to be off-grid or on-grid? Are you going to be going to campsites most of the time? Are you going to use this to replace your existing vehicle? That might determine whether you want a short or a long wheelbase, because a short wheelbase is a bit more manoeuvrable. A long wheelbase if you've got more kids. So with me and the amount of stuff we take, so we're taking paddle boards, wetsuits, we're taking big awnings, and we're going away for a long time most of the time. We might go away for 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So how much boot space do you need? Are you going to take bikes? Do you need some facility to have an awning? Do you need some facility for powering that awning? There's many different things to consider.
Would you suggest then, if someone hasn't ever had one before, that actually they just go and hire one and test it? And is that a good way of finding out what may suit you? That
does work as a kind of an entry to it, yeah. The only thing we find is, because of what we do with the sliding bed system and the non-gas options and the things we offer, you don't generally have an option to rent that. It's a bit more expensive, obviously, as well. But yeah, you don't have an option to rent a sliding bed system, but it's certainly a good entry to it.
If you have any dream vehicle to convert, what would it be?
Any dream vehicle?
Yeah. You can go supersize now. You could go American.
I would. I'd go for American RV, just completely stripped out, like one of these massive buses. Yeah, I mean that would be awesome, especially square sides as well. God, we don't get to work with square sides. Poor Tony at the minute is designing the Transit Custom, and the amount of shapes inside of that. It's just on a small vehicle. It goes in and out everywhere. And a big RV or a bus, they're pretty much square. So that'd be fantastic. Oh no, something that.
Oh, hang on, a bus. Are you thinking of like a double-decker bus now, John?
No, now I'm thinking like one of these, what do you call it? The lorries that like 6-8 wheelers.
Oh, like the Formula One drivers have all the pull out on the sides and things.
All the ones that explore all around the world, sort of like the ones that go to the Arctic with the hydraulic suspension, and that would be amazing.
Wouldn't that just? You never know.
Yeah.
You watch this space.
Yeah, that's it.
With that in mind, where do you see the campervan industry going in the future?
Well, I think it's definitely going to lean towards more hybrid vehicles. Seems to be a big uptake on bigger vehicles. So the likes of the MAN TGs and the Crafters that we're doing are becoming more and more popular. I'm not sure whether that's because the T6.1's been discontinued and the T7 isn't out yet and people aren't quite sure what to do. But we're finding a lot of people who are return customers are wanting a bigger vehicle. So they're finding they're really using it and they want some more space. So it seems to be the caravan market struggling at the minute. The motorhome market is also not as bad, but struggling a little bit. But the conversion side of it on the bigger vehicles, even the smaller vehicles, is doing well at the minute.
And do they sort of hold their value? Because I know sort of in certain markets, say like the static caravans, people can get one, and then like 5 years down the line, it's the monetary value is actually fallen out the bottom of them.
Yeah.
Is this a little bit different when it comes to
it tends to be.
campervans?
Yeah, it is. They do hold their value really, really well, but it also depends on the conversion you've got on it. So if it's a DIY conversion, not so much. But if it's got a good name behind it and they've got a good reputation, then generally they're desirable. We have people wait for a second-hand version of our conversion. We don't get many, to be fair. But they do hold their value really well.
I mean, I've been looking at, this is one of my little things that I like to do in my spare time, is I go on TikTok and I love to see that some of these people are actually making a lifestyle and living in them. Yeah,
they do. We've got a few customers who live in their vans.
I mean, it's quite absolutely amazing how they adapt and how they do things, isn't it?
Yeah. I couldn't do it with my 3 kids, but I think if you're a couple, we're actually helping one out at the minute who's planning on living in theirs. But
amazing. Now, if you could arrange any dream trip around the world, anywhere where you'd like to go and spend maybe a month or two in your camper, maybe without the 3 kids in tow, maybe just you and the wife.
Just me and the wife.
Where would you go? Where would you like to go?
I've always wanted to go to Norway.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, see the Northern Lights. Australia. I've always wanted to go to Australia, and I'd love to camp in Australia. That would be amazing. But extreme heat or extreme cold.
You
both work.
From one extreme to the other.
I have. Tour in Europe. That'd always been be a dream in the future.
That would give them a real good test, wouldn't it?
It would,
in different climates.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you think you'd probably come back and think, now, actually, I'd like to make this adjustment, Tony. I would like this added on.
I mean, you definitely have to adjust what you do to the vehicle from different climates. So, say we have like winterized packages for people who want to go in colder climates. So, insulating all the water tanks and insulating all the pipe work and fitting engine preheaters. There's certainly something different you've got to do for.
I was just going to say, because actually, there are people who've been in like the caravan market, and a lot of them, they don't enjoy the winter months because they have to winterize and everything, and it's like all joy is off the radar for 3 or 4 months, even 4 months, 5 months with the UK.
Yeah, definitely.
But this means that you can really go 12 months of the year and enjoy everything that this country especially has to offer.
Yeah. I mean, you could adapt the vehicle to work both ways. So, especially putting aircon on it as well as then winterizing it. Obviously, the insulation of the pipes isn't going to affect it in the summer, and all the heating elements. But aircon will make it work in the summer. So it can be adapted to whatever suits. Yeah.
Well, last question, and I would imagine that you are super, super proud. And rightly so, because you have just won the most amazing award. Go on, brag, tell everybody.
So we have just won the best VW campervan of 2025. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to pick up the award next Friday, Dorchester Hotel. So it's an out and about live award, and I can't wait. Yeah, it's amazing. So I just want to thank my team as well, because and my wife for putting up with me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, did you ever see that, like, starting off in 2013 as you did, out the back of the van, and now you're picking up a major award?
It's surreal. It doesn't feel real, because it's been such I've done it quite slow. It's been a slow progress. I mean, we took on the first unit, and then the second unit, and the third, then the fourth, and kind of kept on adapting. I've just built up the business slowly. It's a bit surreal. It doesn't feel real, if you know what I mean.
I mean, if somebody here is actually watching, because we have a lot of people who are looking at being entrepreneurs and maybe have that skill set and passion like you, being good at carpentry and really want to do a good job.
Yep.
What bit of encouragement could you give them to follow their dreams and to make this happen?
Yeah, keep pushing yourself. Keep on pushing yourself to make yourself uncomfortable. Get used to being uncomfortable. Keep pushing yourself. You can do it. You can do a lot more than what you think. It'll be a challenge, and there'll be times that'll be really, really hard. But you just keep on pushing forward.
Tiring but rewarding.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And
definitely.
Seeing the customer smile at the end of the day, that must be good. Watching them drive off.
Definitely, yeah. It's a rewarding job. I say that's a part we really enjoy, seeing the customers. We have customers cry when they pick up their vehicles. Aww. In a good way, luckily.
Well, John, I just want to thank you for coming in and giving us an insight into your business. And hopefully one day I might be one of your customers.
I'll be happy
I'll be driving off in my own little custom van, having my little Lake District adventures. Anyway, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Here at Knights Custom Conversions, we pride ourselves on delivering high-quality campervan conversions, designed and built in-house to your specification. Available in a variety of configurations, custom built for every need. Our bespoke builds are available on Volkswagen transporters, Ford Transit Customs and larger vehicles such as Volkswagen Crafters, MAN TGE and the Mercedes Sprinter. All our work comes with a 3-year warranty, giving you peace of mind. To find out more, go to knightscustomconversions.co.uk.